Hello and welcome back to the course. So in this video, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about your LinkedIn headline. Now, a lot of people mess this up, especially if you're in college or something like that, or even in high school, and you're trying to get that first job. A lot of people will put things like aspiring cybersecurity analyst or student. You don't want any of that stuff in your headline because your headline is how recruiters and hiring managers, when they're searching for somebody on LinkedIn to find a good candidate, it's going to pull a good amount of those keywords from your headline. So you don't have to spam your headline with keywords, but you want it to be very clear, concise of who you are, what you do, kind of what you offer. And what I mean by that is I don't want to put aspiring cybersecurity analyst. I'd want to put something like open to cybersecurity analyst roles. So I'm not lying because I'm not working as a cybersecurity analyst. So I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth that I'm open to cybersecurity roles or cybersecurity analyst roles. It's just a play on words, right? It's just saying it a different way. Instead of saying, hey, I'm a student, or hey, I'm aspiring, I really want to do this. It's just saying, hey, I'm open to this. It's just a different way of saying it, but it's the key to finding jobs through LinkedIn is in the nuances of how you build out your profile, how you connect with people, how you communicate with people. Those little nuances are the things that add up. Think of it like if you live in an area where you've seen snow before. For those that haven't, snow is very cold, usually powdery white. And so if I take a handful of snow, make it into a little snow, what's called a snowball, and I roll it down a hill, as I keep going with it down the hill, it adds more snow and more snow. And eventually, depending on how big the hill is, I may have a really, really big snowball at the end, right down at the bottom of the hill. Now, in the same way, your LinkedIn profile and the way you communicate and all these things are part of your snowball that's called your personal brand. And so as you add these little parts to it and you roll your personal brand further and further down the hill, you build a bigger and bigger and bigger personal brand. But it does take time, does take effort, and you have to do it the right way because you don't want your personal brand snowball to destroy itself at the bottom of the hill. So the headline is critical here. And so our headline right now on this profile says cybersecurity analyst in Microsoft. To edit this, I just have to click this little pencil icon that'll let me edit the headline as well as some other information. But the only thing we're focused on here is going to be the headline for this video. So cybersecurity analyst in Microsoft, and this is fine. If I wanted to keep this is totally fine. Because if I'm working as a cybersecurity analyst in Microsoft and I'm not actually looking for jobs, then this is totally fine to do. But if I'm looking for a job, then I don't want to do this. I want to do something different. So in this case, what I may do instead is, let's say that our fake person here, Jen, didn't have any experience. She was a student at university right now, whatever level of university, and she's trying to get her first job. She's really adamant, I want to get my first job. I want to get experience. I want to really make a difference in the world. So going back to our headline here, we want to just mention that she's open for cybersecurity analyst roles. Because again, she's not a cybersecurity analyst, but she's open to roles. And again, we just don't want to put like student or aspiring or any of those words in there, right? So open to cybersecurity analyst roles. It really is that simple. So when a recruiter is looking for cybersecurity analysts, they're going to pull this up. And here we got cybersecurity separated. You may see it done different ways. I typically put cyber and security together. Other people put it separate. So when you're doing your keyword searching for finding jobs, search it both ways, right? Make sure you can capture all those jobs that you're looking for. So open to cybersecurity analyst roles. The other thing you want to put in here is if you have any skills. So if I have some skills in Splunk or Python or QRadar or an XDR, EDR solutions, or any number of things that potentially a SOC analyst or MITRE ATT&CK or something that a SOC analyst or cybersecurity analyst might be using in their day-to-day somehow, or at least need to be familiar with. Those are keywords also that usually are going to be in job descriptions. And those are keywords that if I've got those skills, I want to make sure I put them in my headline, my bot section, my skills section, all these areas of my profile. So that way, when a recruiter or hiring manager is searching, they find me and nobody else. Well, they'll find other people too, but I want them to find me first and look at my profile first. So you can do this several different ways. You can add emoticons. You can do the pipe symbol here. You can do dashes if you want to. That doesn't matter too much. LinkedIn's algorithm is pretty smart. So it knows to like block those things out as far as when someone's looking for keywords for a job that they have open. It knows to block those things out. Emojis are beneficial if you're tired of getting spam messages on LinkedIn. You could put an emoji at the front of like your name and stuff like that, and it'll quickly show you if it's an automated bot or not, because it won't actually pull the symbol into the message. So it'll just kind of show like a random thing and then your name. So it's an easy way to spot bots. It's actually why I have on my profile, the emojis. But back to our headline here, we can add in some of the skills that you have. So let's just say, for example, that our good friend Jen here has Splunk, and she's also pretty decent in Python, and we'll just say QRadar as well. This is what Jen does. Jen's got these skills. Now, if I'm a recruiter looking for someone that's got some QRadar and Splunk experience in Python as well, Jen's likely going to show up depending on how much she's got a profile built out, how active and things like that she is. But if she's doing all those other things correctly, then she's definitely going to be one of the people showing up if I'm looking in the Houston area or in Texas in general for someone with these skills, right? Jen's profile is going to show up. Now, one real quick note here, not related to headline. If I wanted to list the name as Jennifer and just call me Jen, right? Jen as the additional name, I could do that as well, right? So you can always, if you got a nickname that's, again, appropriate, you can put it there. If it's not an appropriate nickname, it's something your friends call you, you probably don't want to put it on your LinkedIn profile. So let's go ahead and just save our headline there. And so you see now, it's a little more fleshed out, right? Jen's open to cybersecurity analyst roles. We see that she's got Splunk, Python, QRadar, and I could even add more things there if I wanted to, but for simplicity's sake, that's all I'm going to add for Jen's profile. So make sure that you add some skills into your profile along with whatever role you're looking for, if you are looking for a job role. If you're not looking for a role, you can also list whatever your current role is there just to show up in keyword searches. The other thing I would say on this area is you can also put what you do here. And what I mean by that is you can put kind of the value add. So if you are experienced in industry already, and let's say that you've worked in maybe SOC analyst or incident response roles for a few years or whatever, then you could put that I help companies secure their data, right? Something like that quickly shows someone what you do. That is not too critical if you're searching for jobs. It's more critical if you're a business owner. But again, you can do it, right? So there's a lot of options you can do with a headline. Key things to take away here. Number one, make sure that the keywords you want to be found for are in the headline, or at least several of them. And make sure that anything you list in here as a skill is actually a skill you have. Just because you did one lab in college on Splunk doesn't mean you're a Splunk expert. Doesn't mean you're skilled in it. You could still list Splunk, but be prepared to discuss, like, what is your experience with Splunk? You can say, well, I did some labs in college on Splunk, so I'm familiar with it, but it's not something I feel comfortable with like day one and on the job. I would need some mentoring, right? Or I need some mentoring. And if you're in an interview and you get that question and they're asking you that and you respond like that, you can also say, what kind of mentoring do you have for people in this entry level role I'm interviewing for, to help us grow our career so we can bring more value to the company? And that again, we'll go through a little more on negotiation later in this course, but that's something where you're kind of planting a seed in their head that you're already there, right? Like they just need to make sure they've got the right mentoring and stuff for you to help you succeed and help you bring more value to the company, right? You're just planting seeds, just like you are with your LinkedIn profile as part of your personal brand. So in the next video, we're going to keep working through your LinkedIn profile.